Our second panel discussion, Make in India and Make for the World, Smart Manufacturing and AI-Powered Rail Exports for a Sustainable Future. And the panelists are Mr. Mangal Dev, Head Hitachi Rail India and South Asia, and Director Hitachi India Pvt Ltd. Sir, please welcome on the stage. He's a distinguished panelist at the 5th edition of InnoMetro scheduled to take place today. Shri Mangal Dev is a veteran industry leader with more than 35 years of experience in operations, strategic business development, marketing and sales, business strategies and large projects in high technology, heavy engineering, transport, mobility, railway, urban cities, marine, automotive, water and wastewater industry. Shri Mangal Dev has played a transformative role in driving growth, innovation and strategic change across leading global organizations. Shri Mangal Dev has been leading Hitachi Rail for India and South Asia, APAC region, for the past 9 years in the green energy mobility sector with a focus on accelerating and growing the business profitably in the region. We welcome you, sir. Our next panelist is Shri U. Subba Rao, General Manager, Integral Coach Factory ICF. Shri Subba Rao belongs to the 1987 batch of the Indian Railway Service of Mechanical Engineering. He is a graduate in Mechanical Engineering, has done postgraduate program in Public Policy and Management with Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore. Before assuming charge as the GM of ICF, Shri Subba Rao was holding the office of Additional General Manager, South Western Railway, Hubballi. He has also worked in various capacities in railways, including Principal Chief Mechanical Engineer of South Western Railway, Chief Mechanical Engineer Planning of South Central Railway, Secunderabad Divisional Railway Manager of Salem Division, Southern Railway, Chief Workshop Manager, Coaching Workshop, Mysuru in South Western Railway, and Chief Workshop Engineer at the Rail Wheel Factory, Bengaluru. He has attended the Senior Managers Program at Paris and Johannesburg. He was also involved in the validation of the EMU cast wheels design at TTCI in the USA. We welcome you, sir. Our next panelist, Mr. Joerg Muller, Head of the Project Directors, Horman, Vehicle Engineering GmbH, Rolling Stock Design and Railway Operations. We're delighted to welcome him, Mr. Joerg Muller, a seasoned railway engineering professional with over 3 decades of experience in rolling stock design, railway vehicle engineering and transport operations. Sir, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, Joerg Muller, currently serving as Head of Project Directors at Horman in Schems, Germany. Mr. Muller has been associated with companies since August 1998. In this role, he leads project management activities for railway vehicle design and development, ensuring high standards in innovation, safety, and technical excellence. Previously, Mr. Muller served as project engineer at IVM Engineering Joint Venture GmbH from 1996 to 1998, where he contributed to engineering solutions in the rail sector. His academic background is also a large to boast of. Sir, please welcome. Our next panelist, Shri Sanjay Kumar, Director of Systems, Kochi Metro Rail Limited. We're proud to welcome him. Shri Kumar brings over 32 years of extensive experience in railway engineering, encompassing planning, tendering, design, execution, testing, and commissioning and maintenance of railway signaling and telecom systems both in India and abroad. He also has experience in recruitment of skilled manpower for transit system. Shri Kumar is responsible for smooth operations, maintenance, and implementation of all systems-related work at KMRL, including signaling and telecommunications, automatic fare collection, rolling stock and electrical system, power and traction, lift and escalators, electrical and mechanical systems, solar power initiatives and integrated transport management system, passenger communication system, and marine communication for the water metro. Prior to this role, he served as chairman, Railway Recruitment Board, Trivandrum, and previously worked with Kolkata Metro Rail Corporation Limited, where he contributed to the implementation of the state-of-the-art technologies such as CBTC, platform screen doors, signaling, AFC, and fare integration system. We welcome you, sir. Now we also have the moderator for the panel, Mr. Vivek Ogra, partner at Transport Consulting Ernst Young. We are proud to welcome him. Mr. Vivek Ogra is a distinguished expert in transportation and mobility systems, bringing over 25 years of experience in designing and implementing advanced transport solutions. His expertise spans a broad range of domains including transport systems, smart city design, e-governance, disaster management systems, and transit management. Throughout his career, Mr. Ogra has contributed to several international projects in the capacity of the technology specialist, having worked across USA, UK, Africa, Thailand, Malaysia, the Middle East, and India. His recent consulting engagements involve supporting governments in Middle East, Africa, and India in developing and implementing bus rapid transit system. We welcome you, sir. And with that, we have our panel complete. I request Mr. Vivek Ogra to please begin.
First of all, I'd like to thank organizers for inviting all of us here. I'm really honored to be with the stalwarts of the industry and the development that we are seeing in the rail sector. So the panel discussion, I'll just like to set the tone and then we can get going with some questions for all of you. So Make in India, Made for India, I believe is not just a slogan. It is a way we will build our global leadership and therefore transform our capabilities in India to become very, very relevant to the global transportation landscape. So therefore, I think, today's topic, which is revolving around how do we embrace emerging technologies such as AI, IoT, simulation technologies in our manufacturing process and also in digitalizing the operations of railway systems of different kinds. So therefore, it is about many things. It is data to decisions. It's about how we align the whole ecosystem to deliver as one. And the aim is to deliver increased productivity, whether that is in manufacturing or that is in the operations of the systems. How do we ensure that we are using emerging technologies to better our products and our capability to build products faster, which are aligned with end user requirements. I think that's a very, very important use case because different geographies will have different needs. Therefore, our capability to look at a global faced product, how do we really use technology to transform products faster, become more relevant to the markets, and therefore how do we use it? Predictive maintenance, improved maintenance infrastructure, train operations, safety, all of this is relevant today. We are not engaging with just the local people who have local needs, but we're engaging with global people who have global needs. And therefore, I think the topic is very, very relevant, and I would be really happy to ask questions which would enlighten all of us in terms of what the future beholds for us. So maybe I can start with Mr. Sanjay Kumar. The question to you is, how does Kochi Metro maintain life cycle of critical infrastructure assets and its operations to ensure punctuality, safety, energy efficiency? There's a lot around it. While these are just 3 words, it would mean a world to everyone who is delivering those services.
Hello. Thank you, Mr. Vivek. So before I proceed with my answer, I would like to know from the audience, may I know what is the age of artificial intelligence? Anybody can tell in the audience? How old is AI? Yes, very correct. So around 70 years, it was invented in 1956 by John McCarthy. So you can say around 69, 70 year old. So, but still, as far as implementation is concerned, we were a very nascent stage. I'll tell some of the few basically use cases, rather mostly in POC stage, not very highly implemented, but few use cases I will share with what Kochi Metro has done. Then further, I'll go for the what other measures have been taken for maintaining and ensuring the life cycle of the important installations. The first one, what AI product, what we have done is age and gender classification. So what normally we do, let's say at every stations our commuters are coming, so we are having a camera before they enter into AFC gates. So we capture the photo, we analyze using the deep learning ANN CNN model, and then accordingly we at the end of the day we used to classify that these many male, female and childrens are there. So sometimes based on that we can increase our train frequency, or depending upon the real usage we can basically customize our train services. And second comes is like our footfall predictions. So like for a year, throughout the year there are several regions, like some festival is there, some strike is there, some events are there. So as and when such kind of events are there, there is an impact on this footfalls. So keeping all these factors, so we again using the help of AI, we are able to identify rather predict what footfall is going to take place in particular day. And we have started doing, and more or less it is around 75 to 80% correct also. And as far as the gender and age classification, here also around 75 to 80%. Now AI is basically doing three works. One is classification, clustering and predictions. What we are talking about in our day-to-day domain or in our other asset management is like a prediction. Basically we should know the gears of status before it actually fails, so that service should not get interrupted. On that line actually we have, there is another use case is called the crew management. Like see, you have got the train operators and there are a lot of restrictions are there. It means their weekly rest should be ensured, their weekly time should be ensured, and there are many other statutory requirements. All those has to be, it is very cumbersome in maintaining the manual arrangement, and moreover the timetabling also is a quite cumbersome process. So we have used this AI to simplify this particular crew management, maintenance and timetabling. So basically after implementation of this, each timetable takes around 10 to 12 days. Now with this, between 3 to 4 hours we are able to manage with this crew scheduling and crew booking. Next comes is our rolling stock scheduling. Basically each rolling stock is dependent, like some are the branding, non-branding, some are having some specific problems. So this has to be placed in particular IBL or particular location. So that also is very difficult to track it out. And let's say some train is specific issues. So with the help of thermal camera and other cameras, we are identifying the status of the train, and accordingly the trains, this particular train we are placing in the respective lines or zones. So these are 3-4 use cases of the Kochi Metro. Now let me talk about the Kochi. Kochi, I think my managing director was also here. He's talked a lot about the sustainability. Kochi is a city basically having habitat of around 3 million population with around 761 route kilometer, and with the 10 different islands. And we are in, there is a Kochi Metro which is under operation from 2017. And now as far as the vital equipment is concerned, CBTC, we have first installed CBTC in Kochi Metro, that is of Alstom. And after that our rolling stock is also from Alstom, though I am not doing advertisement for Alstom, but lot of, in fact the first phase, lot of good things they have done. And now for our life cycle maintenance, we have used our in-house system that is called OMMS, Operation and Maintenance Management System. So it is nothing but in-house tools which through which you can identify what are the failures and where is the failure, how to do the working. So there are 8 different modules, which is, I'll tell one by one, like work management module, failure module, roster module, then your station diary modules, lost and found modules. So there are several 8 modules. So I'll just explain few of them, like work management module. So basically for carrying out any work, you have to issue a job card to the particular team or particular member. So job card was also a very cumbersome, because it needs a lot of assurances from the stations, depot and many other places. So with this system, if everything is inputted, so with that help of that work management software, so we used to issue job cards, then power blocks, And then you used to rather competency also is being used with the help of this OMMS work management module. PTW also with this, this software we are using it. Now next comes a failure management modules. Let's say failure takes place, immediately it will be logged in by the station controller, and then it will go to the all respective personnel, whosoever are there, and immediately they will take the action. In fact, the technician who is supposed to attend that, immediately he will rush to the site, and there is a geofencing attendance is provided for him. He will go there and then he will attend the failure. He need not come to the station and then take the details. All the details are there on his mobile in this, through this app. There is another good thing is that lost and found app. If somebody is while traveling, some passengers has missed something, then there is a website. He will register that, okay, the particular item I have lost. Then accordingly he will be given a reply if it is got by the station control. So it will be told that it will be informed through the email to that particular person that, okay, this particular item has been received. You come and claim your ownership, and then accordingly he comes and get it done. This is about the OMMS. Now next comes is our IBM Maximo. We call it basically fleet management software. The similar arrangement, what we call that like work management, used to have job card, because rolling stock having 500 to 1000 different components and different type of scheduling. So all these are being handled by the IBM Maximo fleet management software. Now third comes is our, we call it a QR code based MMS system. The QR MMS system, that is for the our power and traction department components. So these our power and traction equipment like transformer, auxiliary transformers, switches, all are installed at different stations, RSS, TSS at every location. So difficult to track at one place. So there is a QR code pasted at all the equipments. So which basically keeps the history of all the particular previous failures, when it was installed, what are the troubleshooting ideas, procedures. So all these are there. If let's say if a maintainer goes there and then he will scan it, he will come to know that when it was last attended, what was the last failure, and then accordingly what further action is required to be taken, what is the remaining useful life of this particular component or this particular equipment. So accordingly this through QMMS we are able to manage all our these equipments. Then precisely we are using this much, that's all.
So in my mind, I was thinking there's so much that you're doing. It certainly qualifies. And in fact, there's so much of data metro or railways is generating. And there are so many complex processes. People may not realize what goes behind making that wheel work every time successfully and safely. There's so much that's going on. So while we're talking about AI in general, and we're talking about large language models which are used to derive whatever actionable intelligence, is it a time that we should be looking at metro language models and curate something only for railway sector, maybe for metro as a specific language model, which can then cross-pollinate across different metros and look at learnings in a more specific and appointed way to solve point solutions. Maybe that could be one of the way one could really look at it in future. I think
Certainly.
Next, I will have a follow-on question with you, and maybe we can have one round and then we can have follow-on question. My next question is to Mr. Subba Rao. ICF has played a significant role in development of technology. As we aim to make in India a global rail hub, manufacturing hub, what role can indigenous R&D and design localization play in reducing import dependencies while still aligning with international standards? I think that's the way we will be able to really position ourselves as one of the leading hub in the world.
Yeah, good afternoon. Basically your question seems to be how do I make a rolling stock which is fit for the global standards. The ICF has actually done a good job, I should say, in the last 4 to 5 years. It has brought back the railways into focus. From the 2018 when the Vande Bharat rolled out, we are back to talking about railways, railway systems and railway things like that. But whether train 18 is the best of the world, absolutely not. So is it a very bad product? No, again, because it is certainly middle of the road and much better than middle of the road. But the thing is, the issue is, when we talk about Made in India and Make in India. So Made in India was a slogan for a very, very long time till we started talking about Make in India. The difference probably in Make in India is you don't do everything yourself and start depending on the best customers and best vendors and best product developers and bring them together and start integrating into a single place and start developing a product. So unless we bring the best people and we make room for them, room for the best people and a little work out of the box and start thinking out of the box and making the roadmap available, it's very difficult to attract the best minds and the best companies and best OEMs in the world. So there is a lot of scope and there is certainly, I'll speak from the government point of view. The government point of view is we also have to handle the local manufacturers and MSMEs. So it is not just the bottom line and top line all the time. And so how do you actually, develop a proper hybrid model to kind of you develop the local companies also, at the same time you take the best from the world and there are some examples in India which have done this kind of a thing. For example, ISRO is one such example. I think that which has done a great job in imbibing technology and doing almost things on its own. As far as the railways is concerned, our coverage system, you see, is almost bottom up grown. But the Vande Bharat is not exactly bottom up, it is a kind of an integration. It is not exactly top down, I should say it's an integration. It's away from the transport technology theories what we had. Our LHB coaches and GM locomotives and the ABB locomotives were kind of transport technology. But now again the focus has to be now come back to made in India and make more in India. Especially because the kind of, in the last couple of weeks, what we had on the Western Front brings the focus back onto making things in India, being sustainable on your own and dependence on the world. Because it's it looks like I'm looking very inward looking when I say that we have to be always bottom up. What I'm trying to say is we should be supportive of the local companies also, at the same time not be averse to taking help from the big companies. So I think that's the way forward. That's the only way forward where you are in the long run, because the investment has to be made. Long run will be self-sufficient. At the same time, we should try to aim at the best standards. Trying to attack the whole problem in one stroke, or this may not be so easy. We should start looking at other. There are so many markets available across the world, which can actually take your level of the rolling stock of product which is available. So that's what I feel. It has to be hybrid model. It has to be the way forward is give a helping hand to the MSMEs, at the same time partnership with Hitachis of the world and Alstoms of the world. Thank you.
Thank you. No, I think that's a credible way of moving whole of market together. So that, while you're saying we will build capabilities in country, but we're also saying that we are going to be building capabilities with best in class capabilities around us. So I think very good way of moving forward. Next question to Mr. Mangal Dev. Hitachi obviously works in multiple domains, and you also have a very, very strong footprint in railways and transportation as a whole. What role will AI and ML driven technologies play in automating fault diagnostics, safety critical components such as traction motors, braking systems, axles, etc.? How is this influencing maintenance? So it's kind of overarching question, product to operations, but obviously you're doing all of that. So therefore, what's your view on this?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. So, very happy to be here and take your question. After two great experts talking about metro and railway, So I'll try to add what little I know about it. But let me tell you that Hitachi, as a global company with base in Japan, now it's more global, and especially the railway business is very global. And we are powering good in all the continents. And definitely the asset base that we create with our customers, we are very sure that you have to extract the maximum value out of your assets over the life. Because railway assets, looking at the rolling stock and of course the others, they have a life of around 35 to 40 years. And how do you make sure that this life can be fully extracted? So, this is a question of sustainability in a way, and that is why we are not only adding sustainability in our products, we are not designing and including maintenance in our design. And we are not just designing and manufacturing, but we are creating a digital footprint called product life cycle management, where we integrate all the processes right from design, from engineering, from procurement, manufacturing, quality assurance, and the operations and maintenance, the entire life cycle of our equipment, and especially the most costlier one, the rolling stock. So our factories are highly digital. Maybe you will read more about it, when we open our new factory in the US, which is highly digital, incorporating the most digital technologies that are available today into our platform life cycle management system. So what it means is that we design for life, we create maintenance requirements, and that come from our many years of field experience and bringing that to our design office and integrating that to our design. Not only in the selection of the material, not only in the selection of manufacturing, not only in co-innovating with our supplier ecosystem, but also partnering with our customers, to see what are the new trends in the market. So we use this digital technology very extensively in the whole PLM life cycle, but more specifically, the trains that we are manufacturing today across the globe, starting from Japan, whether these are metros or commuter trains or the Shinkansen, the bullet trains, to what we are manufacturing in Europe, the ETR 1000, which is a 360 km per hour train, which is the current world standard for us, and the commuters and the metros and the trams. We are making sure that we can deliver a complete holistic package to our customers. So right now I'm going to focus on the rolling stock, and then I will extend this to other systems also. So we are making sure that these trains, as I said, they are becoming more and more software driven. In a metro, we just talked about Kochi Metro. In India also, let's take example of India. We started with GOA 2 operation, and then we moved to a kind of ATO operation, and then to driverless, and then to finally unattended train operation. So this has become a standard of the kind of safety critical, operation critical software that are put on the train. So railway has advanced hugely in terms of using the digital technologies. We heard about CBTC, communication based train control system, which is the backbone of running a railway system for safe operation. So whether you look at rolling stock or signaling or the telecommunication, where the entire data information from rolling stock or the infrastructure on the station is being transmitted back and forth to an operational control center. From here you can control both ways. So the amount of software that goes into these trains is humongous, and therefore the hardware is shrinking. So this is one trend which we see very greatly. And then moving on to the operation, obviously new ways of operations are coming in, how to make sure that, when a kind of failure happens in a system, how quickly can you bring the system back into operation. So this is becoming more and more prominent with the use of operational control center, where the human interfaces are being taken over by more and more software-driven communications-based solution. The maintenance side, which is the most important part. So, as I said, the software, every subsystem on a train, whether you take the most innocent system like a door system to the passenger information system, or the alarm system, or the HVAC system, or the brake system, which is more safety critical, cell 4 kind of system. All these subsystems have their own own softwares, own operating system, and in the central heart of the train you have the train control and management system. So all these systems are communicating live on a continuous manner, in a redundant manner with the train. If you're taking a kind of an EMU train which have operation on driver's console on both the sides, so both the systems are in sync on a hot standby, meaning that a lot of data is being generated from these systems, and this is used to not only control but also manage the entire operation in a very safe, in a time-bound manner, in a most comfortable experience to the customer. So this information which is already being generated, the data which is already being generated, so we take the selective data out of this. This is again a science of data management, taking the best data that we want, and we then leverage the domain knowledge on those subsystems and on the entire train system to create algorithms, whether they are run using the machine learning or the artificial intelligence generative platforms. And you can host this systems, algorithms in a cloud, and therefore there is a continuous data generation happening, data transmission happening, some edge computing happening for some very critical parameters, but majority of the data analysis is happening in the cloud. So you don't have to, load the train with that kind of heavy data. You don't have to store servers on the train. So this is it's become a kind of a standard now. So the global, worldwide trains use this kind of system, and this domain knowledge, when you incorporate onto the subsystem and on the train level, you can have the health management of every critical component. You talk about traction motor, and I extend it to a wheel, to an axle, to a gearbox, to a bogie, and to the HVAC system, which is more customer experience based, or a door system, or a brake system. So all these systems will have their own algorithm based analytics and AI ML on top of that, which will predict that this is the current health of the train, and in so much time this is going to deteriorate. So you have a trends of deterioration. You can predict the health of every such subsystem, including even the pantograph. I have to mention, because pantograph is very crucial, which is the source of energy that is coming, and the transformer and the propulsion system, etc., etc. So all these systems are inherently very software driven, and using this AI ML data driven algorithms, you can predict the health, and therefore you don't have to do the maintenance based on the traditional conventional system of kilometer based, time and distance based maintenance. You are already moving into a predictive maintenance. You are predicting the remaining life. You are predicting a failure before the failure happens. Therefore you are taking away the cost of such failures and improving the reliability of the train, and therefore the availability of the train. So these technologies have become, as I said, very standard. So Hitachi's experience is not only just designing, manufacturing, but also carrying out the maintenance in our own depots. So we not only do this kind of predictive asset management, but we also do the maintenance part. So the communication between the different type of trains running on the network and the maintenance management, maintenance depots is also very important to plan the maintenance and to tell in advance that I will be coming for maintenance on so and so day, and I will need to maintain this XYZ system. Therefore I need this expert, I need this material, and I will need so much of time. So the entire ecosystem is working seamlessly. Not only the machine and the design, but also the people in the depot to maximize the use. And ultimately the objective is to have a very, very optimized life cycle management of the asset, which was, what I started out saying, that long life assets need to be utilized to the best possible. So this, then I can extend the same system can be used for the trackside infrastructure, be the rail, be the other bridges, or the substations and the catenary, etc., etc. But the key, the cost of maintenance of rolling stock is as much as the cost of the entire infrastructure. So if I can tackle rolling stock, you have already managed 50% of the cost, and the 50% is on the infrastructure side. So I think the solutions are available, and these solutions we have already given a flavor to our Indian customers. We partner with Indian Railways extensively. Currently, not only on the signaling side, train control side, but also on the LHP coaches, where we are using this system in a kind of a modular fashion. And we are predicting the health of the wheel, when the wheel will fail, or when the axle, motor, bearings, etc. will fail. So we're preventing the failure. Lot of value is being encashed or realized by Indian Railways Maintenance Department. And I'm very happy to see that the two great our operators, Metro as well as Indian Railway, will take this message and try to make this as a standard for their trains going forward.
Thank you so much. I think that there's humongous amount of technology use in every aspect of your product development to delivery of the product and then the maintenance. And I'm sure it's just a starting point. It's going to be bigger and bigger as we go along, and the product is going to be better and better just because we have the right technology and tools available to us. Maybe I can come to Mr. Muller now. And I think the question I had in mind for you was, you specialize in product engineering, if I understand that correctly. Product engineering has gone through a paradigm shift in last decade in terms of not the classical engineering, but tool-based engineering, how you do simulations and how you do all of that before you really have the product in your hand or a prototype in your hand. So what role do you see in future? How will AI, simulation techniques and all of these not only reduce the cycle time to develop a product, but to develop a more futuristic product? What's your view on that?
Yes, thank you very much for inviting me here for the panel, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. At first, I'm representing here a common team from Germany and from India, from German Vehicle Engineering as a German-based engineering service provider, and from Tooltech Global Engineering, which is Indian, Pune-based engineering service provider. And we together are on the way to bring not only European or German ideas to India, but also bring it together and bring it from India also in the rest of the world, also back to Europe. That is our aim. And we are working in this field, as you mentioned, several years already in digital environments, which are providing a lot of data, which are collecting data and which generating data, which are generating data for the production of vehicle, for the use cases of vehicle in operation, in maintenance. And we need to come back to think about what we can do with this data. And I don't need to repeat what the three colleagues before already mentioned, from the vehicle point, from operating a vehicle, from production vehicle, or from the viewpoint from a big OEM, which of course know about what they are doing with their data. From our point of view, from engineering, we generate a lot of data which can be used in further processes, from production point, from operation, from maintenance, for several cases, also including AI functionalities, and to make things better from this point what we can do today with our current tools and systems. So this is our general aim. We want to do it as a common work for India, but we want to go not only for India, but also to export this kind of experience in the world. And what I can say additionally to what already mentioned here before, we are proud to undergo currently an assessment for operation maintenance procedures for Metro in Pune and Nagpur, and this is very high standard metro operations. They are only some years in operations, and it is later state, I would like to say, from technical point. But of course, in our common discussions, we find out there are a lot of data already available to make some things available for preventive maintenance. We have to think about what is possible for predictive maintenance in this operational cases. And predictive maintenance today means what kind of use cases we have for AI tools and equipment. And so from our perspective, we see there is a very big need for operators to use this, especially for maintenance, also for optimization of operation. Coming back to the vehicle, from the vehicle engineering point, we are thinking about there are a lot of possibilities to increase the outcome from specific tailor-made solutions for the operator. There is a need also from my point of view to have a more focus from the customer point of view, what they like to have, to think about specific needs, need specific answers. And that is our aim, to help our customers to bring this in reality. And clear, this is effort. From engineering point, there is a lot of manpower effort necessary, and we hope so, also in collaboration with our customers, OEMs, producers, operators, to reduce efforts from mankind point, to say, let's create more in simulation, let's create more in AI tools from industrial design point of view. And next or latest point I want to mention, because it was not covered before, there is a need also from asset point of view. If you look on the operator, whole India, you have a wide range from assets you need to maintain, you need to support during the lifetime. And there are already starting some investments. I heard it from Daily Metro for the BIM philosophy to integrate. And there is something more necessary to go in this field. And we believe there is a high potential for AI technology.
Perfect. I think unfortunately we're running out of time, but maybe before we open it for the questions, I'll kind of want to summarize this. So what we been discussing today was one, that there is a whole lot of technology, emerging tech that is being used in operations, and it's also embedded in the product itself, which in turn kind of delivers the safe operations. As we go along, I think there's a lot of need for a lot of data management, because this is a very critical data which is throwing back possibilities for future. Maybe where I was saying the metro models can be created, and then they can be simulated, used in different forms and fixtures to develop and provide to industry for future developmental needs. Maybe now we have 5 more minutes. Can we have some questions from the audience?
My question is to Mr. Muller. My name is Rajesh Agrawal, and I retired as a member of the Railway Board. So the topic of this discussion is AI-powered rail exports for a sustainable future. And we know that there is a lot of potential for supply from India. In the Europe, you have the TED, you have the SIMAP for effective supply chains into Europe. and then you also have your own DB portal. So how can you interface or help in trying to get our world-class manufacturing, I mean no compromise with quality, how can we set up an effective supply chain for a significant export of something which is going to add value? And how can you participate in that, or how can you interface in that?
Yes. Thank you very much for the good question. I believe there is a high potential from Indian side to bring products out of India, not only in Europe, but I believe there is a very, very big need in Europe for more railway technology from India. This has already started. We remember maybe 2 decades back, mostly technology come from Europe to India. And you have this here and you learn what the technology from Europe can provide, what kind of sustainability, what kind of availability they have. And this is what we think about. We need to improve products which are already on the market in India from Indian producer, from Indian system supplier. We're not only talking about the final product from the vehicle point, but also from a lot of systems which are available in India, which are produced in India, but which are needed from several vehicle producer in Europe. From my personal point of view, we have a very high demand in Europe for additional products, because we have already a high number of OEMs, clear, we know this, and there is a high competition between the OEMs. But nevertheless, there is a need for more supply into Europe, and of course also, and that is not only because of low wages in India. You also have to increase the wages for the engineers, for the staff in the factories. But you have a lot of advantages in this way, because we are overpriced in a lot of systems already in Europe. And so from this point of view, I think there are a lot of advantages to think about which product we can bring to Europe, and that is really our intention, our common intention. And I also think about from Indian Railways point of view, there are possibilities to go this way.
Yeah, so I was thinking from the manufacturer's point of view in India, because we have very quality manufacturers. They are supplying to the auto industry, yep, and they have a significant potential to supply to Europe. The challenges usually are, you need a European connect. Yep. You need a strong European connect. You just simply cannot go online and do it. So that's where I was trying to interface with you to see whether we can, first understand that yes, this is definitely there. This definitely can be done. You help us get the connect, and then we make something happen.
Yep.
So I'll be in touch with you.
I'm absolutely sure that will happen.
Yeah.
We see the next phase also in Europe for demanding of vehicle, not only for the big, to deliver from the big OEMs, so railway operators asking for specific production possibilities with a high number of cars, which are not possible to produce in Europe in a short period of time. Yes. So this is you have possibilities here in India. You know what it means, high number of cars to produce. If I see in ICF, the production flow is very, very high, not comparable with what you can see in Europe. So from this point of view, I see this high demand to ask for new wagons for maybe next year to start. Nobody in Europe is able to do this in the moment. And that's why I think about there are good chances to start with thinking about how to create products from India for Europe. Yeah.
I'll discuss it.
My name is S.K. Suri. I am a retired general manager, Rail Coach Factory, Kapilthur. Question for Mr. Subba Rao. This is regarding on-board condition monitoring system. Are you planning to go in for it? And what all facets you are planning to cover?
Sir, the railways, as you know, has been dabbling with this issue of onboard monitoring systems for a very long time. As far as propulsion systems are concerned, they are more or less, a lot of onboard monitoring systems are already inbuilt. It's the bogie portion and the axle and bearing portion which is not yet really taken care of. But now we are coming up with a plan, not exactly plan, that we are going to now use this onboard monitoring system, especially the bearing, studying the bearing signatures and and then the vibrations and the heat signatures in all the Vande Bharat trains. So we are now coming up with specs. In fact, RCF has developed specs which is yet to be finalized. But now we are, in fact, I actually was thinking of talking to the Hitachi on this because they have got this great experience and they have done work in MCF also on about 80-85 coaches. So we are having a plan. In the next 3 to 4 months, we are going to roll out trains with onboard monitoring system, especially with the bearings.
And the back.
Hi, my name is Yogesh. I run a design studio. It's an industrial design studio. And my question is to Mr. Subba Rao. One point that I picked up in your talk is about developing teams who can serve and consult and provide their services to railways. Now, I have been trying to talk to ICF for many years to get into design of interiors for the trains. So what would be your suggestion and where we are missing?
This is one topic which actually baffles all the in-house manufacturers of the coaches in India. Okay, as far as the Vande Bharat is concerned, if you look at the hardware portion, that is the riding quality or the safety aspects and communication systems and things like that, they are actually the best of the world. In the same class of 160 kmph, 180 kmph trains. It's actually where we miss out is that touch and feel items, where the passenger comes into contact and then we get into this, we get stuck with a kind of a loop all the time, as I have explained earlier in my talk. But then we have to break the barrier somehow and come out of it. So I'm actually thinking of getting to some consultancies where consultancy can, handhold us in the whole process. It is not just you design something on a computer and give a picture. I mean, we are not actually interested in that. We are interested in specs also, and then the fitment designs and the whole lot, right from the basic raw material up to the end product and validating end product. So your question is very correct. We are all thinking of this, and we are trying to come up with some kind of a solutions. Maybe not for the products which are already on pipeline, but there are some more products coming up for which we are actually looking for partners. So I didn't get your firm's name, but
my firm's name is Sir Design Studio.
Great.
And I will show you the work that I've done. It would be good to get your feedback on that.
Thank you very much.
So with that, I would really like to thank all of you for great insights on the subject, and thanks for your time today. Thank you.